Oh, okay. What do you well oh, yeah? Yeah. Nice, yeah. I seen one of the videos, I think, like, one of the last 5 had, like, over 1,000 views pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, that damn. Yeah, 2 of the last, 5 that one almost has that one almost has 3,000, damn. Oh, yeah? I didn't know that was a thing. So since the pairings go up at 6:15, do you wanna do, like, a 6:18 start time? Okay, okay. Alright. Okay. There probably are some newer people too. Do you have the link to the Limitless thing? I know some people are weird about it. Already going to their tables. Nice. No buy either. That's nice. Just even 24. What do you mean? Like what deck? Uh, a non-meta one, or I mean, I don't know. Maybe people do want to see meta. They want to see it perform well. Yeah, green's cool. Mm. Oh yeah, I forgot that can go from green to yellow. Okay. Yeah, yeah, you're good. Let me start this timer. He did just text me earlier. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Start this. All right, 45 minutes.
Right there.
How you doing? Good. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, thank you. How you doing?
Can you guys hear me now? I'm still trying to figure out streaming, so I goof sometimes. It looks like it's picking up. It has a mic audio, but it wasn't showing anything picked up. But yeah, there's no sound from the players themselves. I have it muted. But it looks like we have some type of green tribal deck here on the left, and on the right, it looks like we have a Dark Nightmon deck. So we see a Skull Nightmon, and I think that's Cavalier and Raising. I kind of tell from the images. but definitely going to be a fun set here. So I'm trying to like analyze this meta. I quickly looked at some decks, and I can definitely tell some people are practicing for store championships. I can tell some people are just trying to have fun with a free tournament tonight. If I had to take a guess, it's probably going to be a meta deck that takes it all, but I can also see something quirky, as there's a lot more quirky stuff tonight too. So we see the first swing from the black player here, and he gets the Pagu Inheritable to get the Chikuri to hand. So Dark Nightmon is typically a very aggressive deck. It's not popular in this current format, as OTKs tend to be a little bit more efficient than Dark Knight decks in general. But Pride Memory Boost being its dedicated memory option, or memory boost, because it'll play and put stuff in trash, which there is small synergy for. Yeah, we did hit the requirements though for tonight for the top 2 players to get the playmat, so people will have a reason to play after losing or tying a round. It is not all done yet. And we're seeing a little bit of the Shivamon engine here, it seems. Something very spicy that I wouldn't expect to see in this tournament. So what decks is everyone in chat here expecting or wanting to see tonight? If there's anything cool that you want to request, I'll do my best to find something like that if we have it in the tournament. It looks like we have kind of an awkward situation for both players. Black, on the right, Margarito, used up his resources in Digimon on field, so he'll have to build something up again this upcoming turn. And Green doesn't seem to really have a top end going for it, but it does have the memory blocking Terriermon to slow down the opponent, as that Memboost is sitting there and it looks like a nice thing to cash out. Like I was saying, we see that Chikurian raising, but we see that ultimate flare in response to give Green that nasty board wipe. So he de-digivolved the Examon, or not Examon, I forget what the green suspend guy's name is. It's like his Shivamon, Examon, but he suspends when digivolving. Level 4 is the important part that got de-digivolved, and all the 3s got popped since they had a play cost of 3 or less. So we're going to see Green build up again and raising here. Similar to Black, they're in this awkward spot where they're just kind of building a board back and forth, but trying to progress the game when they can. And for 2, we see probably the best green hybrid, the Metal Kabu. Or maybe not best, but a very popular one, as it does have the bonus effect of suspending an opponent's Digimon, typically a blocker. The Beetlemon is the more favored one for decks that have a lot of hybrids and tamers to search for JPs and for other hybrids. But we just see the hard pass here, so it's probably showing a pretty rough hand here for Sushi on the left. But Black has plenty of powerful options, plenty of security effects shown already. And we see the first piece of Dark Nightmon here. I don't think we've seen a Dark Nightmon yet, period, so it's going to be a little slow. And we do have Cavalier mode here, which goes for 1 over level 4, and it gives jamming to Dark Knights, I believe. And it's going for 2 checks, I believe, from the Inheritable. Hit potential goes to hand, and the second check being a Death Exmon. Something I would not expect to see in green for sure. And we do see the Dark Nightmon for 3 memory. Both camera angles looking clean. Yeah, I was going to say we got a good view of everything. that Crimson Mode playmat. You know, I think I've seen lots of cool custom playmats in this game. I think the more desirable ones are custom overall. I'm trying to think of like the best official Bandai playmat. It's probably like the Grand Prix playmat. That's pretty neat. I'm not sure. Is there any really neat playmats you guys have seen that are officially Bandai ones? I think they're probably from like Tamer Kits, if anything. Yeah, 24 players playing tonight. We're seeing green controlling the board, going over Dark Nightmon. But we do see his Undeletion effect to play out 2 pieces from Dark Knight. Or not, I don't think it has to be from the sources itself. But I do know it floods boards. Yeah, the Tamer mats are actually really solid overall. Yeah, they are fixing the no memory gauges or zones part. It took them a bit to learn that players like that. Yeah, we like to see where things are supposed to go. The memory gauge, I feel, should just be auto-include at this point. I know the old packs used to have the little memory gauge parts. They don't have them anymore, though. So I think they're just fixing that mistake by just putting them on playmats now and ignoring them in packs. But I think I still have a stack of like a few hundred of the old memory gauges you got in packs. Just because if you open a box, you got like 30 or 24 of them. You got a lot. So we do see another Cavalier mode going over a Cavalier mode, it looks like. The Memboost is getting cracked because the memory blocker is gone, so we can play another Memboost. You look at top 4, play something with a play cost of 4 or less that is black, the rest go into trash. Yeah, you never kept... I mean, it is basically garbage. I only keep it because I like hoarding stuff for my packs. I like to get maximum value. Had another security check here, not quite sure what that was, but we do see the Chimera to close out game 1. So we see Dark Knight take game 1 of the tournament here. It is a best of 3, so yeah, the Chimera came in and had 2 level 4s. They're sticky. I think the Dark Nightmon has Undeletion to summon more. It's been a moment since I've looked at those cards. Because they will see a lot more relevance next set when we get more pieces. Yeah, I think that's what the option was. I think it was the Samatsan T, the Shivamon option. Because that's how it suspended the other guy. Which wasn't relevant once you Jagras or DNA Digivolve to Chimera. Yeah, anyone here in chat, though, feel free to leave a suggestion for what you want to see next round streamed for the tournament. Because I'll do my best to find something fun that the audience wants to see. I tried to find some quirky decks. There's lots of those tonight. We have lots of meta decks, though, too, as people want practice for those store championships. Yeah, I was going to say, we don't see these decks typically. And once I saw one of the decks, I was like, yeah, that's enough for me to want to go to this for round 1. Plus, you gotta support all our other Digitamer friends. But we see Black going first this game. Margarita opens up with the reboot toy Agumon, looking like a much better start than last game, as he actually has a decision or two of what he wants to do, is what it looks like, rather than both players just awkwardly passing after playing a Tamer. And we see the first Dark Knight piece come down, searching for basically the Dark Knights, I think was the thing it searches for. Shows you how much I've played these cards. And in response, we see green opening up with a rookie as well. Much better start for both players this game. I'm excited to see some quirky interactions. But on paper, I think green might struggle against Dark Knight with all the recursion. He can't get over the Gallantmon playmat. I'll be honest, it looks really nice. It's not no Metal Garuru playmat, but it does look good. And in case you guys haven't joined yet, I do have a Discord where we have great conversations, and stay up to date with other players, share deck lists, do some creative deck building, and talk about Market a lot. Market is a popular conversation topic. We see the Blossomon shoved down here. It slams turn 1, putting into 3 though, so it's not the worst in the world. The memory is efficient. Dark Knight has the awkward edge, yeah. And we see the Fixer Izzy come down, gaining the memory so it doesn't pass turn. I'm excited for some of our new emotes to come in. Right now, I think the artist is actually streaming one of the emotes she's working on right now. If you ever go on Twitch, look up Jasminator. She's the one that works on a bunch of my stuff, and I think she's streaming the creation of one of them right now. If not, it's for another person she's working for too. So we see the Samad Santi come down, suspending one of his Digimon in return to suspend and basically freeze the Digimon. It's the equivalent of a blue hybrid freeze, but for green, and it works super well with Shivamon. Now the opponent is locked out of options for this upcoming turn, as all of the green's Digimon are suspended for Shivamon's effect during their opponent's turn. And the nasty part is when it restands, it will trash that top security for the start of turn. And we see the Samad Santi, yep, it's just confirming it does lock out that Digimon for the turn more so. Unless you Jagras or DNA to a Chimera. And we see the first check green memory boost, letting the level 4 live. After seeing last game, I'd be a little scared of what can come up next. Chimera again, yeah, it's a little scary if you see 2 level 4s ever out. But it just fits in the deck so well, the Chimera. What level 6 would you run in Dark Knight Mon? Would you run a Biomon? I'm not quite sure what you would see in that deck for level 6. Is there an aggressive level 6 that makes sense? Maybe a Blackware Greymon? And we see the Mechanori come down for 4, leaving the opponent at 1. The infamous blocker. So start a turn, when Shiva restands, you trash that top security. And now he's probably going to start going for board control. So we see, oh yeah, Black Melga, that's a good card that we haven't seen in a moment. The Digiburst one, I wasn't thinking of that one. But we're probably going to see green try controlling the board as much as they can here. The Mechanori is kind of chump blocking the Terriermon from doing much. So we're going to see Shivamon start swinging and controlling first. And my guess is green's win con for this game is to just keep Shiva on board, restand, trash the top security each turn, to slowly take the game away from having advantage. And for 3, we see Metal Beetlemon coming over the Terriermon. So I don't believe it will crash into Mechanori, as the BBmon egg, I believe, does provide the buff, so it stays out of being swung over at. I actually have a copy here on my desk. Oh, it's an opponent's turn effect. Yeah, pre-release BBmon. It's, well, all your opponent's Digimon are suspended. You get 1k during your opponent's turn. All of your Digimon are suspended, not your opponent's. So he could choose to attempt to swing into the other Dark Knight piece here, but it would leave him vulnerable to being blocked by Mechanorimon. Terriermon doesn't provide a DP buff, don't believe. I it wasn't a flex. I just had it here on the table. I knew where it was, so I can read what it does immediately without shifting over screens. But yeah, once I get my second monitor, this setup will be a lot better for streaming. Because right now I'm working off of one screen here. And we do see a Blossomon for 3 and a Mimi down to end the turn. So we are option locked again as the black player. After seeing those flares, onslaughts, and pride memory boosts, it's probably a very good idea to kind of give yourself some insurance. Yeah, second Shiva could be pretty rough for them here. We see a Terriermon for the check there. I mean, Mimi's a really good way to stabilize. Because you start getting that memory fixing, that Shiva is pretty safe. I don't think there's stuff that can naturally swing over Shiva at the moment. If anything, you would Iron Fist Onslaught it, but Shiva is kind of denying that play really hard right now. I guess a quirky thing we could see here is like a Snymon from Security. Oh, and we see a level 6 here, and that is the Black Melga. Digiburst 2, delete something, I believe with the play cost is 7 or less. Or is it 6 or less? It might be level. It's been a moment since I've seen that, but it does have a reboot effect, so it keeps the stack alive. Just another turn, and Dark Knightmon works well with stuff in trash, so that's why stuff in there is not horrible. So we see the Hatch return, Evo into a rookie, and the Mimi suspend to bring up another Digimon. It's a play cost of 6. Okay, I can't remember. I knew it was pretty close to that, so that Blossom looks kind of yummy if it is a play cost of 7. This is real trivia. Just try to remember what cards do from formats that I didn't play them. So we do see Rapidmon go for 3 because it is going over a Terriermon, and he gets to suspend 1 Digimon because he has the Mimi in play, and give all or up to 3 suspended Digimons minus 5,000 DP. It might be 4. It's either 3 or 4. And just explain the interaction. Because I went over Terriermon, it will cost 3 for the Rapid. And then the sequencing for minus DP is just for suspended Digimon. It doesn't have to be something that was suspended by the effect. And we see Pagu fetching what looks like a black or gray secret. It was black. It was a valid target. And we see there's 3 security still on the Dark Knight player side. And we see 1 for the green control player. Yeah, let's see. So Dark Knight is looking a little behind right now. Rapid over Dark Knight is really scary, as that just provides so much value and clear. That Mechanori is going to stick on board, though. They're probably going to keep that alive if they can, as a way to get aggression by digivolving over it into like a Cavalier mode for 1. It's a great way to turn it into an aggressor, but it's also a blocker to keep him alive. Let's see. But yeah, I will say, it was a Cavalier mode is what it was. Has a similar art to the Black or Gray Secret. And are we seeing hybrid for game? We do see a hybrid for game. I don't think it was an easy play regardless. But we do see Dark Knight take game 1 of, or round 1 of the tournament. Yeah, it can't naturally attack, but Cavalier mode gave it a little oomph there. If you guys have any requests for game 2 or another game, let me know and I'll take a look, see what there is. Got quite a few tables up here still. Let's see. Yeah, the thumbs up. Okay, let's see. What else do we have still? This table seems to be up still.
Do you want to try minimum 0?
Hey guys, are you cool if I stream this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, good.
Okay, I want to go ahead and mute myself, so don't worry about me. And let me change our source here. And here we are. Got us another set here, guys. We like seeing some spicy decks. I got something spicy for you. We see a bunch of Sistermons, and we see a bunch of yellow on the right side. So another set in round 1. We have Knight on the left and Wysa on the right. Can't see the... yeah, I was getting there. I have to change the source whenever I hop tables with how my Streamlabs is set up. But yeah, we have Jesmond being piloted by Knight on the left here, and on the right we have Wysa piloting a yellow control deck. It's not your traditional yellow control though, so we'll see some spicy cards here. And it looks like there's 2 Zoes, 3 security buffing TKs. So it looks like it's going to be really hard to try swinging through this, but the Jesmond is a level 6 that is capable of getting to really high DP numbers. So, seeing which one's able to live longer or go through their game plan first would be very interesting nonetheless. But every security TK is a 2k buff on security. With 3 of them, it's a 6k just naturally this entire game. But it looks like we're playing a very close game here, and we see the one of Jet Sylphy coming down for that draw and recover. And able to close out this game with a hybrid. I'm actually really interested to see these 2 decks and see if it's game 1, 2, or 3 we're going to be going on here next, or game 2 or 3 going on to next. My guess is it was either a really fast round, game 1, but it looks like they are getting ready for another game. Poor Jesmond. I know. I'll be honest. Like, I really thought the Savior hit was needed at first, because I do think it is a crazy condition for Jesmond to have in this game to restand so easily. Red decks I don't feel should have a restand easily without a heavy memory commitment, but it did absolutely kill the deck when they set that limit. And I know we made comments about playmats last round, but I love these playmats. They're very unique. I have not seen these before. The metal Edamon playmat and the Bushi Agumon. You know, I think it was warranted at the time because Jesmon was relevant for so long in Japan, and they kind of want to push other red decks into the format. But it kind of we're kind of seeing a problem right now in Japan meta. Like you're playing one of like two decks, maybe a third deck that does well against one of the others, but not as well. You've seen the King Edamon playmat? Is that like a level 7 equivalent, the King Edamon? I don't know anything canonically about that line. I just know it has a goofy gotcha mechanic. So we see yellow is going first in either a game 2 or 3, and we see an Angelmon slam on turn 1. Not showing the best hand for the yellow player here. It's like a side level 6. Oh, okay, kind of like how you have the multiple branch Evos, and it's not like the main one. Because I know there's a few different Edamons. Like Machine and Chaos. Okay. Yeah, so now we're going to see Jesmon use all the searching it needs to find missing pieces. Double Huckmon coming down, looking top 5. Might feel crazy, but adds Sistermon and Huck pieces to hand. Being the main part. Getting the Jesmon on the second tutor here. And that's just all in response to your opponent slamming a level 5 down. So 2 level 3s, a level 4, and a slam to level 5. So optimally, like, we saw there's Angelmon X, so it wouldn't be a bad thing to go over Angelmon with, which we are going to see for free at Draw and Recover, because you're at 5 or less, and you have Angelmon in your source. One of those Huckmons will have -1 check for this upcoming turn. Yeah, the Dogo in the background. And it looks like we have a Magnamon X antibody. Is that what I'm seeing there? I think that's what we just saw come down there. And we see a red Menboost come down. Jesmon doing Jesmon things and searching for the consistent pieces. You see that one of Savior Huck, you're going to take it immediately. No second thoughts there. And that Huckmon will be able to do damage again this upcoming turn. Oh, we see a Sunrise Buster coming down here. You don't have the color requirements though. No, I don't think it needs to have the armor. It needs armor or X antibody, I believe, to do that. I know armor for sure is one of the possible things it can have, but I think it's just a level 6. Here, and I can double check that too. Yeah, once I get the stream set up, I'll be able to pop up cards ideally. But yeah, the all turns effect is all turns when this Digimon would be deleted, you place the top card on top of your security stack face down to prevent deletion. But the opponent's turn to redirect, you have to have armor form or X antibody, referring to the option and its sources. So as long as you have the sources, you'd be able to place it on the top down. But you need to have the X anti option or an armor in the sources, which there are armors in this deck. Now he does see the Sunrise Buster come down this time because we have the red requirement fulfilled, slamming down a TK and popping one of those Huckmons. And we see the perfect Jesmon in raising. Got the Bow Huck, the Savior, and the Jesmon. Starter Greymon's like probably the one more optimal thing the stack could have had, but it's a very solid stack nonetheless. So now Jesmon's trying to bait on how they're going to proceed. The piercing won't matter because, well, actually, it would prevent the deletion, right? When it would be deleted, you place the top card of this Digimon. Yeah, so you don't get deleted. You have pseudo armor purge if you were to attack into it. But we're not going to see that. Just a direct attack to security. No judgment in the blade. And just explaining all the buffs. He's really big. And we see a TK come out of security. He's going to search that security and grab something he needs. Now, the awkward thing about a security buffing deck is you don't want to take the Digimon out, but if it's a piece you need for an Evo line, you'll take it out. But you'll leave probably Tamers that don't give security buffs awkwardly. So it's like a small de-synergy with the deck. Yeah, I'm going to see about getting some background music for the stream here shortly. I need to find some non-copyright stuff so I don't get striked. But slowly adding more to the stream as I figure it out. We see Jesmon dropping another sister, getting another draw. So we got a lot of blockers here, their side, and we see the first security buffing TK from security, and we saw one from hand earlier. Now there's still plenty Jesmon can do this turn, because they have the full 3 memory to work with. I will say it's definitely an awkward hand for the yellow player. Alright, let's see if we can find some copyright-free music. Ignore these ads before I put any audio on. How's the audio mix, guys? Let me know if it's too loud. Tried to find something that was copyright free. But I can always adjust the audio if it's too loud. Too loud, too soft, just let me know. Okay, so back to the game state. The Jesmon did disappear, so I'm assuming it was swung over from that Magnemon because it is suspended. But we do see a Chimeramon come down. One of the coolest pieces that Jesmon would have gotten if it was at full power, because you can Jagras 2 level 4 sisters being the CLs, and you'd be able to go into another Jesmon pretty quickly, or just get an extra swing even. So like, Jesmon plays 2 CLs, you gain 2 memory, Jagras and the Chimera, swing again, you shove a level 4 or level 5 or lower from trash underneath, which is typically going to be red with a strong inheritable. Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to find the right card here, and we see another Jesmon. So will yellow be hit again with another strong swing? I do see a Sunrise Buster in trash, so I think that's how the previous Jesmon was removed here. Sounds fine. Thanks for the confirmation there, Izzy. I don't want to be deafening anyone, and that is always a concern. I do imagine we are getting close to time in round here. Oh, got 6 minutes left in round still. Okay. But yeah, we definitely see Sunriser be a very strong card introduced into the English and Japanese formats, though. Playing out the Tamer first and then doing the DP reduction is super powerful. You get on plays. You just have so much value in one card. It is kind of insane. Now, because Sistermon Blanc is in play and there is a Royal Knight, he could be blocked with the Sistermon if chosen. Just going to let the security damage go through here, as it looks like he's probably blocking the Salamon, or intending to. But I'm a very big fan of seeing a lot of these unique decks tonight. Reinforcing Memory Boost coming down. Look at the top 2 cards of security. Add 1 to hand and 1 into security. So we see the Pegasusmon and the Angelomon X. Angelomon X is going in there because it's the bigger DP, more likely, and the Pegasusmon does have utility over the Salamon. We see Biomon promoted from Jesmon's side here. So I think we see 1 starter Greymon for sure in that stack. So this Jesmon will be coming down for lots of damage. But the main concern I think now is, will it actually live a swing into security? Because we are seeing like lots of really big and heavy security buffs. We got 2 security buffing TKs. Angelomon X is 8k, so being 12k, because you got 2 TKs, so 8, 10, 12. It's kind of scary. There's no Zephyr buffs, no other additional buffs to security at the moment. And we're going to see Jesmon swing. Will restand from the Savior Huck effect. And are there any Sistermons being called? Draw for Biomon. We see the Ciel, or not Ciel, the Blanc Awaken coming out, shoving the source underneath to get a recover. These players can both play a long game and recover their stacks. But Jesmon is definitely taking advantage as it can build a board much more efficiently. Yep, and we see that Angelomon X, but because Jesmon buffs itself when a Sistermon is played, it will be fine, but it runs into the Ancient Kazemon at 15k. And that takes down the Jesmon stack Ancient Kaze in security. Yeah, I will say I would definitely not expect to swing into that insecurity of any deck lately. So we are going to be getting close to time, which is going to be hard here to close out a game. Because both of these decks are kind of playing defensively, but they're making larger stacks to make it hard to get that quick finish. What is that yellow deck? I think the yellow deck's called Hit Me Yellow. Has lots of security buffing cards in it, and it has lots of control elements too. It's not like security control where it's option heavy. It is a bit more tamer heavy with Sunrise Buster from the looks of it. And Ancient Kaze is just a way of saying I'm going to be buffing security more. But it does have the Magnamon X. There are armors in that deck too, because we saw the Pegasusmon. But definitely a more unique deck. Yeah, how's everyone's round ones going so far, though? I know some of you are probably from the tournament, just chilling here in chat. We have a fun round one. See any other unique, quirky decks? The match I streamed was Dark Nightmon versus what looks like a green Shiva control deck. Mass Day, nothing crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people prepping for store championships too, so I'm not surprised about that. So I need to go to the admin side here. And we are in overtime, so active player is turn 0. So, not going to like put favorites to either deck, but it is a lot easier for a Jesmon to close out a game here than it is for yellow, unless we do see a bunch of hybrids coming out, which is possible, because we do see a lot of tamers down. So it's just a fact of doing the math so you can get a bunch of damage this upcoming turn. So we're missing pieces over on the Jesmon side. So we're going to be tutoring with the Huckmon, finding 2 Jesmons, the Bao Huck. So yeah, it's going to be a Bao Huck and a Jesmon. We want to get as many Digimon ready to swing security as possible, as we want to be careful about time and turns in overtime. Yeah, we're going to see that Bao Huck in raising 4-2. The opponent will be fixed to 3 from TK, and then because yellow is at 3 or less security, those Tai and Karis are going to proc for 1 memory apiece. So if we're trying to close out game as yellow here, we have to have 4 hybrid swings. It doesn't look like we'll have that. And I'm not sure if he's turn 1 or turn 2 here. But he does want to live, so he's going to try making it as difficult as possible. We do see a Kaze over Zoe for an extra 3k buff on security. And are we seeing a Joggers here? We have a blue, we have a yellow, and this is a Shakomon. He will get a recover and a bounce. So yellow is controlling the board as much as they can. We do see the swing towards security. We find another starter Greymon. Not the greatest thing in security, as you typically want to have those. You can't really manipulate that much in red on that part. We do see the Ancient Kazemon. I think is what it's called, Ancient Kazemon, going over the Shaco to buff the security even more. I think it's a. If I had to guess, this is either game 3 or game 2 with a very long game 1. I'm not sure because I don't see that reported on Limitless at the moment. Alright, let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't see anything reported on Limitless yet, so I can't tell you who won game 1 or anything like that yet. But it is definitely a grindier deck. Yeah, I was going to say, unless Jesmon high rolled. If Jesmon high rolls, it can be a quick game. But this is definitely a slow control versus a combo-oriented deck. So if you're trying to go for combo, if it pops off fast, it pops off fast. Yeah, like realistically, it is probably like a game 2 now. And from the way things look, it's probably looking super good for yellow here. But red does have potential of doing some crazy things still too. And we're suspending both the Tamers there to give minus 2k because a yellow Digimon attacks. See the red Membus, which is one of the pieces that will be needed to try closing out a game. Yeah, that is time in overtime. So we are going to be fixing some results here, more than likely, and this game probably won't be closing out. Well, guys, I'm going to be putting on break for just a moment, but once round 2 gets started, I'll get the stream up with another game. Drop a comment down in the chat, though, for what you want to see in round 2 for a match to be strung. Just let me know what decks you want to see, or if there's a player you want to root on, let me know. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to be back with round 2 here. Give me just a moment, and I'll see if I can get a match to stream. Let's see, what do we have here? Want to see something? Do we want to see something meta, guys, or do we want to see something less traditional? Because we do have a bit of options here. I think we'll go ahead and see if we can do this here. Hey guys.
Yeah, now I can hear it. Now I can hear it.
Are you guys cool if I stream the set?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm good.
Okay, awesome. I want to go ahead and mute myself, so if you have questions, please ping a judge. I don't have the audio on.
Okay.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Alright, thank you.
Okay, chat, let me go ahead and get this up. Change my screen capture. And this is going to be a fun set here. So, on the left we have Liberum, and on the right we have Vongola. If you guys don't know, Vongola actually won the last Ultimate Cup we had of the BT8 format. Very strong player. So I'm excited to see what both players are playing here tonight. Well, I'm not going to say I know. You guys are going to see shortly. And we're rolling for setup, see who's going to be going first. And the one cool thing really about webcam events is how it can bring people together from different parts of the world, and even just the US in general. Like, you're not going to be playing a local with someone from a state in like the Northeast if you're from like Florida. You're not going to be playing someone from Ohio that often if you're from Texas. Like, it's just really neat how we can come together and play a game. But we see the Sunamon hatch going into a Gabumon X antibody here. So we're going to see some Melga X action on the left. And we see the blue Memboost coming down for 3 memory. Search the top 4, adding a blue Digimon card to hand. And we're seeing all the nuts and pieces for the promos at least. And it looks like we are going to have the level 4 promo picked up. This level 4 promo is actually crazy for the deck, because it's not a once per turn when attacking draw, just like Stingmon and Imperial. You're going to get lots of draws, lots of value very fast. And we do see a Koromon egg hatch for Mongola here on the right, going into promo Agumon right away. No hesitation on what this matchup is. We're going to see Wargrey X against Melga X here. Melga X being the fast combo aggressive oriented deck, while Wargrey X is the swing heavy for value stack deck. But we're seeing Wargrey X build up their stack fast. Now, the good thing for Melga is you don't need to build up the stack fast, you just need to have your pieces when you have them. And we're seeing the red Memboost returned, and we're seeing the Wargrey X picked up here. If you guys don't know, if you have that X antibody option, the source, or a Wargreymon, you'll get an extra check regardless, but you'll get an extra 3k until the end of your opponent's turn if you have that condition met of a Wargrey or X anti option in the source. It's a great way to really keep your stack alive longer and prevent your opponent from going over it. And we see the Cool Boy coming down here, and the Cool Boy whips all the red pieces down to the bottom. No memory fixer, no delicate plan anytime shortly. But Cool Boy will provide memory value if you go into an X ante of the same level. So, if we're seeing from this Guru player here, this next turn could be very deadly for the Wargrey player if they don't have a great way to respond to this stack. So now you're really having to decide, is it worth promoting your stack here? Because it is vulnerable to getting bounced from a Melga X. And if you're sitting on a Memboost and a Cool Boy, think of that as an extra 3 memory. So if you choke your opponent at 1, they still have 4 memory to work with in like an optimal worst case setup. So they're going to choose to hide in raising, which honestly I don't blame. They want to keep their stack alive. They don't want to be Melga balanced at all. So now we're probably going to see, we're going to be tutoring a bit more. We're missing a piece. It's going to say normally you will see a promotion here, but we're probably looking for that Garuru X Ante. Finding none of them here, but we do see a Sagittarius promo, a Gabumon BT5, and a starter deck Gabu with, I believe that was a Hammer Spark. So not a bad selection at all, but he's probably missing a level 5 based on him picking up the Sagittarius promo. I want to say it's not the promo Werguru level 5, but it is good. And just explain the effects here, because it's not super popular of a choice, but it is a common 1 to 2 of in various builds. As it just kind of provides a way to stop memory blockers from being on the field. And that's becoming really popular this format too. If you guys haven't seen, memory blockers are such a good floodgate. When your opponent plays 4 Mem Boost, more than often than not, now we see the Wargray stack coming out here. We know that Wargray X Ante is in, or the Metal Gray X is in hand here. So he will get an extra check, an extra 3k because he went over a Wargray or a Metal Gray. I keep saying the wrong one. And he does have that Mem Boost if he needs to go into a level 6 here. And honestly, there's lots of great options for what he can do here. And he does opt to pop the Mem Boost going to 4, so he could go into Wargray X without passing turn. If you're playing Gallant, you love to see the Gazis. Yeah, because it feels like your playstyle. You like popping the little guys. But we see that BT1 Wargray coming down. This has been like the level 6 of choice for a lot of these decks, aside from the X Ante. And we're seeing Blitz Omni for that first check. We had the 11k. I think that should have lived, shouldn't it? Because I think you had the Metal Gray buff. In addition, you had the promo Agu, I think, in sources. Use Mem Boost as the 8 for Gazi. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, what are they going to do? They're not going to let you freely have the memory boost. But we're still tutoring for pieces on the Garuru X side, so they're struggling to get stuff down. And that Agu in response was a great way to start building a stack up fast. Works on him every time. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like, when I'm playing, I love my floodgates. I like Double Gazi. It stops Alphamon really hard. Because they rely on so many memory effects that aren't from their tamers. Like, they have the Cool Boys, which is great. But they still need memory effects. From, like, the trashing cards, from their Mem Boost, from the Dorumons. So it's just a great way to shut down that deck if you can get to the stick. Because the Dex Doru Gray will come up. It'll pop 1 for sure. But getting the second one pops is the struggle. Unless you're on, like, a Death Xmon. Yeah, we just had the realization. The DP buff from the Melgray X was there still. Yeah, and the Koromon too. So yeah, the stack was alive. Players had the issue resolved here, and just getting all those checks it would have had, I don't think it would have impacted the game state otherwise, because you're just going to be swinging, and you're either dead or not this turn. Might need a judge here to repair the game state if that's a conflict, because it shouldn't have been alive, I don't think. Yeah, I think they're going to ping get Izzy. Unless they accept the game state, then it will just be as it is. And I think they're just accepting the game state with all the checks being done. But we do see the promo Werguru level 5 going over the level 4 here. You're missing the X-Ante. It's not a perfect world, but it's still a strong stack. It's just vulnerable to dying into security swings now. And he's kind of forced to play into this hand with what he has at the moment. And we see the Sagittarius bouncing the Agu. Yeah, they fix it themselves. Yeah. I was seeing them look towards computer, so I figured it might be something that we're going to be asking for help on. Yeah, like the BT1 worker, he is actually kind of small. But with all the DP buffs of that deck, it does make up for it really fast. The level 5 buff, the rookie buffs are all really good. So like if you're on the starter Agu or the promo Agu, it's going to have value. We're seeing blue go all the way, cracking their members. My guess is we might see a swing and then go into Melga X, trying to keep the stack alive. Or an X-Ante option to Melga X would work really well too. And we're going to see the EX1 Melga. For every, I think it's 4 cards in hand, you'll gain a memory. So effectively, it makes the 4-cost Evo go down for every card in hand. Had exactly 9 cards in hand, I think it is. It's like 9 or... It's probably 9. There's no way he has 12. To make it more difficult to get all that memory. And I don't think he's been drawing a lot for the level 4 Garuru. But he is trying his best to keep the stack alive as long as possible. So when we see Melga swing security here, it is going for 2 checks unless he's opting to swing over Wargrey. So we see it is going towards security with 2 Greymon X coming out. Now I'm more willing to bet we're going to see Melga X come here, attempting to bounce. No, we actually see an Ice Wall choking the opponent at 1. One of Ice Wall is still a strong Ice Wall. Forces a turn pass if you're opting to go for a swing. He has the hand on the table there. Normally, you want to see the whole hand when you're playing, but we can see the hand is placed down on the table, so it is visible. And when he's playing, you can see the shadows, so it's not like it's obviously hidden, it's not taking a super long turn, so I'm fine with it. I'm a little bit more chill, relaxed for these tourneys. But if we see something suspicious, we will have a judge sit on the table. Yeah, it looks like he did pick up the hand again. But it should be fine. I'm not seeing anything malicious. We're not seeing like it obviously cracked hand all the time, because it wasn't a very optimal hand. But being choked at 1 is definitely a difficult scenario here. So a lot of things I do see Wargrey players using is the X-Ante option, and then swinging going into Omnimon X. And that can be done with either going into a Blitz Omni and then Omni X, because the win attacking is declared with the Omnimon. And that is an X-Ante that is a valid thing to go into. Or you can just go into the X-Ante for 6 memory, which is still not bad. And we see BT5 Agu come down. We're deciding it's just worth searching. Get the Omnimon, you get a Greymon, so it is a great tutor here. Going for 2 out of the 2 pieces you want. But like in an official premiere event, you probably will be asked to fix your camera angle or keep your hand more visible. In case you were curious. Because, like, you obviously can't see it the whole time, but I'm seeing shadows on the table still, so I'm not feeling super skeptical. So we see Melga swinging security using the X ante option to go into Melga X for 1 memory. Restand, you get bounce the lowest level, I believe, on the field, which is going to be that Agumon, which thankfully protected that War Grey, even though the protection of War Grey does prevent bouncing if you have the Greymon X or the War Grey promo. And for 2 checks, putting the opponent to 1, assuming it lives, does find an 11k War Greymon, so he will swing and live the checks. So if we see a swing, live, and going to Blitz Omni, that could be game here. I want to say Blitz Omni is not super popular in Melga builds, and I believe we saw one bot decked really early too, with one of the blue Mem Boost. And we're going to see BT5 Gabu come down to their top 3, look for a Garuru or an Omnimon, or Omnimon. Guys, choice of level 4s here. My guess is he'll probably pick up the Garuru X. Oh no, I guess we actually saw a promo Garuru go bot deck earlier, so he probably has one now if I had to guess. And the Melga X is a blocker here, so it's not the easiest scenario just to say swing, swing, because it did get the restand from the Melga from EX1, living the checks. Actually, is that a blocker? No, it's... No, I think it is a blocker here. Yeah, it is a blocker. So for 1, War Grey X going over War Greymon. Swing security at, I believe, 14k DP. The battle protection of Melga X will keep it alive if he removes 2 at the same level, which has to be 2 level 5s here. And he will use the end of attack effect to delete it anyways. So he got his value out. Sorry about that disconnect there, guys. A little bit of internet issues there. But we see War Grey take game 1 here. I know Psycho Feathers here. Love to see it. He's won our last few events with War Grey X. So how's everyone in chat tonight? We all having a good time? Having fun watching some games? Having fun playing in the tournament? I think a lot of you guys are playing too tonight. It's definitely a fun night, though. I love watching people play. It's always a chill night when we're having tourneys, right? So we see the promo Agu open again for the War Grey player. Great rookie to have in Raising. Now, what your follow-up is, it's going to be an Agu X for that extra cycle. And we see 2 memory going into BT5 Greymon. Guys, I know that uncommon is like almost $2. It's been going up. People are wanting to build War Grey decks. They want to build Gaiomon decks. Card's super staple. And we see a pretty optimal Gabumon over here for the Garuru X player as well. But we're seeing the blue Mem Boost didn't quite get the Evo stack we want, or we're just trying to be memory efficient. They're both valid options here. My guess is you're probably taking the Gabu X if you're missing pieces, because it does get a free draw and a free tutor. But if you have all the other levels, you may just take the level 5 because it is such a crucial part of your deck. And we are going for Gabu X here. Getting the free Evo over a Gabumon is super powerful for sure. Definitely not something to sleep on. And my guess is we're going to see some more Evoing and raising for Wargray here. You don't really have a reason to promote here. If you get stack protection, it would make it a lot more worthwhile to promote. Like if you go Gray X then a level 5, you're pretty safe. But it looks like we're missing pieces over here too, so let's go ahead and search them. Get a Greymon, get an Omnimon. It's a great BT5 tutor right there. Omnimon X and a Greymon X. And we're going to see that Gabu X come right down. Right, Evo get or we should get the draw first for Evo before we get the tutor. I think we're missing something there. Yeah, because if we're thinking BT5, you get both the pieces. Yeah, we're just correcting that part. Yeah, it's very possible I missed a draw for Evo, though. I think we're just checking the cards here. You can only pick one or the other. It's not the BT5. You need the X ante to be the option, not the trait. It's always a great resource in tournament, guys, to have a database on hand that you can look up the cards just to verify the effects are correct. Opponents don't try to be malicious. You just sometimes misread cards. I know I've done it before. So we see Garuru come down for 2. And this is the promo one. It is the one that will give you a giant hand out of nowhere for this deck. Yeah, welcome to the stream, everyone. If this is your first time here, chilling at the Eagle's Nest, welcome. This is our webcam tournament where we are playing for playmat first and second place. We'll both get this Metal Garurumon playmat. I can't really see my camera angle super well, but this is what everyone's playing for. Free entry tonight on the house. Trying to welcome new players into the community that haven't played in tourneys before. And I just want to give everyone a chance to play and show my appreciation for players who've played a lot also in the past. So I turn around for 3 seconds, and we have the level 5 Garuru. Just looks like we passed the opponent to 3 memory with it. We see the Akumon lives the check, finding Cool Boy. You know, it's always when you don't expect it to happen that your rookies or your little guys live. Or if you want them to die, they never die. You know, the joke is Eismon has jamming, because 4KD lives more often than you ever want it to. In the hybrid format, it made sense because all the decks were tamer heavy, so you would live checks more often than not. But little Agumon, he made it through and get the tie fixer down. We're kind of missing level 5s, it looks like, here still. And he's getting bounced with the Sagittarius mode. going over the Wergaruru promo. We're building up a Gabu and Raising here. So we've built up our stack here in the Garuru side a lot more efficiently this game than last game. We're not seeing much aggression though. We're seeing more of a defensive approach to this. We're finally getting a swing. We're going to get a Garuru draw. And we're swinging at a pretty large DP number because you got the egg, you got the starter Gabu, and you do have battle protection. And it is for 2 checks because you have 8 or more cards in hand. But thanks to the egg and the Gabumon, he does swing over 8k. Going into the ex-ante Wergaruru for free, he does get a Cool Boy proc, so he gets a memory and an extra draw. So he could see 2 more damage coming in here rather quickly. And if there's anything I love about this ex-antibody format, it's seeing these giant stacks made out of what almost feels like nowhere. Because all these free evos and you get all this cycling. Like, and I'm a lot more on the control side, but I just love building these giant stacks when I'm playing one of these more aggressive OTK decks. We've checked another memory boost. So we know Wargrey is going to have at least 7 memory to work with this upcoming turn. And we see the Wergaruru X go into the EX1 Melga, get a draw for Evo, and we're going to count cards in hand. It costs 4, but it does gain a memory for every 3 cards in hand. So we're seeing him go back to 1 on his side, so he had at least 9 cards in hand, I believe. I can double check this actually. Why am I guessing? Yeah, that's every 4 cards in hand. So he has 16 cards in hand. He has been doing a lot of cheatering and drawing. The Garuru helps a lot. Now, the one thing the Garuru player doesn't have is protection from deletion effects. So if we see a Wargrey X get its end of attack effect, it will be able to delete the Melga sack. Assuming the DP is larger, which it normally is. We found a Blitz Omni here. I'm going to be passing the opponent to turn. They will have 3. Regardless, I think we're getting some procs here. So we see red is out of security. They have to promote. They have to react this turn. The Omnimon does have deletion effect protection. So starting out 7 memory. We will have to go into the Metal Grey X. We don't get the DP buff, but we do get the security attacking buff here, because that is not conditional for having an X-Ante or Metal Grey in the source. We see BT1 Wargrey coming down. So he's naturally 11k, but with that egg, and I believe it is a promo Agu, he should have an extra 3k, I want to say, so I think he's 14k. And I can't remember what Greymon. I think it was the BT5 Greymon. But we are going to see him try closing out game here. He swings security. And we're finding all the Melga X's here. Oh, we did have the chip from the BT5 Agu earlier, so that was able to give him, for the last 4 checks. That makes sense. Okay. Because to tie the Wargrey. Okay. Well, that is that set, guys. Give me a moment, and I will get our next set. Any requests from chat here on what we want to see next? Let's see. I think this takes fine.
And Digivolve, Ligermon into Gallant or Magnet X antibody drop. Alright. 1.
Hey guys, are we cool if I stream this set?
Yeah, it's fine.
Awesome.
I go to 3 for the Coda.
Coda. That's 3.
Draw. Promote.
There we go. So we got some armor, we got some Alphamon here, guys. 2 other really popular decks of format. Alphamon definitely being the most popular, or at least from what I've seen. I know it has a big fandom of the Alphamon line, and it's just a solid deck overall. Basically taking an extra turn when you go into your level 7. That's my joke I say. You get so much memory, you just get an extra turn. It's so powerful. Oh, is my mic on? I think my mic's on. Mic should be on. If you guys can't hear me, let me know. I think I might have my mic on mute this whole time. Oops. If I did, I apologize. Let's see, what game are we on here? Yeah, it's a 1-1, so this is game 3. I'm going to assume my audio is on mute. My bad, y'all. Don't be afraid to speak up. Let me know if the audio is not coming through. That's on me, if it wasn't. We're going to see Alphamon getting the tuck here. Did I like your Pocket Evo Ancient? You know, I think a lot of people weren't expecting that. Had questions on what that deck was. And I said, I think that's his Hit Me Not list. You get your security stack buffed up with security buffs rather than going for options because you're not a SetCon player. Yeah. Just a different type of control, though. Like, you just give them minus checks, or if you're not giving them minus checks, you just make your security big and you kill them. And if you can beat the numbers in format, it makes a big difference. Yeah, bingo. Yeah, it was really fun to watch for sure. I wish we watched the whole set, honestly, but there's just so many cool decks tonight. So I'm trying to get some things cycled in that we don't normally see. Too much ADP. Oh yeah, exactly. You can't do anything if your opponent ADPs you unless you do like 4 purple Mimis to pass their turn if they're fixed at 3. But then they can play around with Memboost. Yeah, Jesmon does get big really fast, especially if they have a bunch of CLs. I will say, I think this is rough for armor here. I think it possibly could be game. I see a Cool Boy Tutor here for 2. If we find a level 7, it's pretty much say, oh, we can't take the Grumble here. We do have an Oryu, so like it's not necessarily game. I think we're looking at 2, maybe 3 security here. We see that X anti option getting slotted under. That's a free draw for Dory, and if you have a Doru, it's a free memory. It's a pseudo Hammer Spark 4X antibody. I think he's just been cycling for that Oriuken, but he can't find it. So he's just going to play it safe, control the board. And in the attack, he should restand from that Oriyumon inheritable. Yep, he's getting that restand. So he's got the giant stack, but I think he's scared of possibly a Megadeth, because there are like 4 Megadeths you'll typically see in Armor decks and Imperial now to kind of adapt for the format. So you gotta play it safe a lot of the time. But nonetheless, it is a rough spot. So how did everyone's sets go for this round? We have a good round? Are we having fun? I think we're going to attempt to go for it here. No, we're getting a Doru, so we get a memory gain. We are getting 2 checks. 1 initial, 1 Doru grade check. And there's the Megadeth he was respecting when he swung over the rookie first, which is very fair to be honest. But we do see the Kongu in return. You're not going to be able to swing at me if you have a play cost of 7 or less, is what he says in return. That's unfortunate to hear about Brick. Bricks aren't fun, but I think there's a good chance we'll see mulligans implemented into the longevity of this game. I know we're in playtesting for it still, but I think after this season ends, that's when we would have a big rule change like that. Just because it's been in the game since the start of no mulligans, so they're going to stick out the season before they would consider implementing it. So we see the Lydramon for 2, going over that Vmon. And like your best response here, I think, is just awakening the gold into like a Magnamon X if you can. And it's not necessarily game, because we still have some ways to play around this. But that Megadeth definitely made things a lot less optimal. So this is your top 4 Vmon search for a dual color blue card. Got 1, 2, 3, and 4 cards. Davis Ken being the only valid target, because it doesn't have to be a Digimon. It could actually be a Tamer or Option, as long as it's 2-colored in blue. That's all you care about. I see we have a lot more people hopping here in the chat. Welcome, everyone. I can see viewers. I don't see chats, but that works with me. I don't mind lurkers. But this is looking how I would want a game 3 to be if I was either player. We're getting our things done. We got our stack. We had a counter response to the stack, but I'm able to build the board still, and I'm keeping you in the game in check. Like, this is the type of interaction I think a lot of people like in Digimon, and I know I do for sure too. We're gonna get another Kongu. Oh, he's not gonna be able to swing that easily, guys. And if he attempts to Magna X, he won't be able to get the recovery. It just gets deleted. Because Magnamon X can't go in security under the effect of Kongu. I know the effect will wear out, but it's just one of those niche interactions you gotta be aware of. So we do see a Magnamon here. So we do have a blocker. He has DP buffs from all the armors and trash. But that buff won't matter. We're just going into Chimeramon. We can swing. We can do DP reduction. We'll put a source from our trash underneath. We got white, blue, green, yellow. Are we going to add a red? We're adding a red. We got another color added. So blue, red, green, yellow, white. That's 5,000 DP reduction, which is enough to take that stack out. So now he will swing security. He does have the buff from Chimeramon, which is a Dorumon. Are we seeing a Magnamon? We are seeing a Magnamon X. And I was just saying a few seconds ago, it looked scary seeing that giant Alphamon stack, but being able to stabilize, get that Magnamon X, is definitely giving a breath of life here for armor. And I'll be honest, that's definitely a deck I haven't messed a whole lot with yet this format still. I've done a few cookie cutter lists, but I didn't find something that I really fell in love with. But I know the first armor was something I really liked when it first came out, so I just need to put some time into it. I know it's a deck profile I want to make also. And we see Ryudamon come down here for 3, and he is saying that's basically all she wrote. Just gotta get a blocker if I can get anything. And can't even get a Cool Boy proc with the memory, but we do have the blocker. So we're not dead yet. We're still giving it a go. But he is living on a prayer here. We see Veemon in raising. If that was a turn sooner, it would have been game here, because he can't respond to 2 attacks towards security, but he can respond to the one we have right now. We're going to see the swing. We're going to see the block. It could be a hybrid. I don't think we have a hybrid, otherwise we would have seen it already. Now we do see a Davis. We're going to attempt to choke him at 1, but Koda says no to being choked. So do we get Magnamon or Magnamon X? It looks like we get a Magnamon X here. So we promote Ryudamon, we get the memory from Yuji, get an extra draw from Yuji. Got some drops. Let's get some drops resolved. Okay, let me go to my participants. You have been dropped. Okay, I'll be right back, y'all. We're going to get some drops done. We're going to get some end of round 2 stuff resolved. And then I'll be back for round 3. See you all shortly. Oh, you guys can hear me still? I don't realize if I have my audio on or not. I'm just typing. I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of mechanical keyboards. Yeah, people don't care for armor or ASMR. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. So, guys, we're chilling in chat. What do we want to see? Do we want to see some top tables? Do we want to see some cool, unique decks? Just let me know and I can put it on here. I'm just taking a look at our decks we have. Trying to find someone who hasn't been on stream yet. I think we might be streaming this table because I think this looks like a cool matchup. Might be awkwardly unique, I'll say. But we're down to our last 5 undefeateds. Like 5 undefeateds left, guys. We're on round 3 now. I think this will be a fun top table match to see. Let me go ahead and hop in and see if the guys are cool with it. Hey guys.
Basic, but it was a terrible Black War Greymon. Like, Black War Greymon is terrible.
Hey
Yes,
guys.
Zach, it's okay if you record.
Are you cool with
yeah.
it?
Are you fine if I stream? I forgot to ask.
I'm cool
Yeah.
with it.
I'm gonna get blown out. You don't even want to watch. You might want to go to Sean and Games table.
We're gonna be chill.
Everyone wants to see security control. Because everybody loves watching the fun and interactive gameplay.
Okay, let me pop up our screen capture. So I don't know if you guys heard what he was saying, and one of them was ranting on about their deck. But one deck here, very unique. The other deck, you guys have probably seen before, but I think the unique deck will make it really fun to watch. And give a more, definitely different spread than what you would expect. So we're starting with a black egg here. So if you think black, you think D-Brigade right away. But we're starting with the Pride Mem Boost, and we're showing off Dark Nightmon again. If you guys remember, this is Margarito here. In round 1, we showed him against Green Control. And here we are seeing a yellow egg. We're seeing a Salamon. We're probably going against Security Control. With the Magna Angemon, I'm going to say that's Security Control, guys. But I think Dark Nightmon awkwardly has lots of good value into this matchup. Recursion is a big thing that can help you against Security Control, and that's what caused some matchups to be really rough, like Lilith Loop, because you just have so much grave recursion. It doesn't matter if you get blown away, you'll just pop up more guys, get more stuff done. We're going to see the Black Melga get a Digiburst 2, destroy something that play cost 6 or less, or trash the top security. We're seeing a turn 2, 3 damage from the Dark Knight player, and they're missing a stack in Raising 2. To say it wasn't explosive would be a misunderstatement. And the Salamon has Jamming 2, guys. It did not die. So we're seeing Security Control is awkwardly getting put on the timer really fast. The Magna didn't live. So if we see a Flame Hell Scythe, it could potentially bounce back a bit. But we're going to see that reinforced Mem Boost. We're seeing the Mimi tapped. It's going to make it cost 1 less effectively. Now, which tamer do you want in hand? It's going to be the Mimi. Go ahead and put the carry, Ricari, into the security. So this is our table 2, guys. These are both undefeateds right now. And we're going over the salad. We're going to deny that recover because you were so generous to put yourself to 4 security. And we're seeing some more Dark Knight tutoring coming down here. No search targets. That's fine. We have 2 bodies on board, and we got Reboot. So I don't know if you guys have given much thought, but have you guys played much Dark Nightmon yet in this format? I know it didn't get any direct support, but next set's when it gets like its big buff and like actual support. You get a boss monster, you get Dark Knight X, and I know Baggermon is confirmed for BT10. But we're seeing Salon Raising, Purple Mimi coming down, Blade of the True for basically free. Going to be drawing 2 cards because there's 4 security. Gotta make use of our memory still. And we're seeing Eden's Javelin for 6. We're going to draw, and we're going to pop the little guy. Not enough to pop the big Melga. So we're going to see the Modimon, I think that is, come from Raising. We want to make sure we get good tutors. I want to see the swing. I want to see a check. We knew it was a carry, or Kari. And we see a Sakuya here. The Melga will die, so the level 6 beat stick is down. But we're going to see the Dark Knight pieces come down still. And we're keeping a very aggressive board against the security control player, making it kind of awkward to deal with. And we do pick up Cavalier mode here. Yeah, we see all the Tamers restand. We see the Sala from Raising. This pressure has been a lot for the security control player. I know they're known for being slow players that recover a lot, but when you can keep pressure on, it makes it hard. So we see the Sala crash into Modimon. Pagu shows a Pride memory boost, bot decking it, so it's not a black Digimon. And we do see the Magna slams for 7, going to 5 memory on the opponent's side. So like this really gives a chance for Dark Knightmon to actually build up a board, get some more stuff done. Because being very memory inefficient right now is going to give them an edge. But if they're missing pieces, it is hard for sure. But I think what we're going to see is probably a Cavalier mode over the, I think it's Deadly Axemon. Yeah, so we see it go for 1, draw, and it does have jamming, I do believe. So if it checks an option, the jamming won't matter, but if it finds any security mons, it will. We're going to see Pride Memboost cracked here, going to 4. We see the Dark Knightmon coming on top. If this dies, we're going to play out 2 sources, or 2 level 4s. And this is going for 2 checks, I believe. Check 1 being Avenge Kid. Got jamming, so it doesn't matter. Kari will proc, going to 0 memory. Oh no, it wasn't the +1 check, but we do see the Digiburst 2. Trashing that top security again. And we trash a Flame Hell Scythe. Down to 2 security. They're keeping pressure on. Security control is struggling to keep up, it looks like. They are getting purple tamers set up, so it's going to be close for sure. So we all living in chat though? We all surviving? And depending on how this round goes, I don't think it's going to be the last round. But I think realistically we will finish at 4 rounds tonight. Depending on how down pairs go will determine on when the tournament ends really. 5 undefeateds, and we have a pretty good diversity here tonight. And we are going to see the Chaos Degradation casted from hand, putting the Melga to bomb, trashing the Chikuri on top. And we're going to hide in Raising, play an Izzy for 4, showing 3 black cards, so we will gain that memory. So now really determining the ordering here will make a big difference. I think we want to see that Dark Knightmon sooner than later though, so putting it on top is the thing he is opting for here. Yeah, I believe it's 3 security to 2 security, 3 on the Dark Knight player, and 2 on SecCon. Nasala is ready and raising, trying to guarantee Deadly Recover in this upcoming turn. And we are having Dark Knight on top of the deck here. So I'm kind of curious, the thought for hiding the stack and raising probably didn't have much to go with it. We do get pieces trashed from the Pride Memboost. And we tutor out a Dark Knight piece here. Yeah, you guys thought people didn't like ASMR for my mic. People don't like SecCon more. I'm a fan of control playstyles, though. Now we see an Izzy come out of security. We're going to lose a memory, actually, on the SecCon side. And we're going to get these draws to be as optimal as possible. And we do a Sakuya for 3 memory. We're going to slow down that stack and raising is what he's saying. And we see the Sala go into Sala X here. Get to go over it for free, and if you remove a card from top your security, you recover. And he could choose to proc Kari if he wants, but he may just save it for his opponent's turn to try disrupting that turn. And we see Sakuya making its way towards security here, finding a Dark Nightmon. And we see another Kari going down for 3, leaving it to Margarito's turn over here. So all those purple tamers is definitely making the deck taxing right now. And I just want to say, from the aggressive start we saw from Dark Knight, I thought we might see it closing out a little sooner, but that Sakuya is definitely making things awkward here. So we know there's going to be -3 checks on that stack. Security check being another Kari. 2 memory going towards SecCon's side, but we're still on active player's turn. The Memboost will get cracked, going to 3. We do see a Grumble over Izzy for 2, going to 1. Want to swing security again. Checking into a Wyvern's Breath here, -15k on the Digimon of choice. Getting the Paga resolved, but we do see a Chimeramon going for game here for game 1 of Dark Knight against security control. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but a Grumble and Chimera definitely does give an extra 2 checks that you weren't expecting. So now we're going on to game 2. It is the choice of SecCon if they want to go first or second. And being the SecCon player, you can go first or second pretty comfortably. My guess is you're going to be going first to slow down your opponent from being as aggressive and explosive as we just saw. What a potential turn 2 could be with, I think it was like 3 damage they did right away. 1 of the damage being a trash. It was just a very, very good start for Dark Knight there. So chat here, let's try this out. If I recall correctly, I can make polls here. All right, let's do that. Oh, actually, here, let's... Hey guys, I just dropped a poll here. Let me know what you think about this poll. How do you think it's going to go? Let's see. I I think I could add a bit more here. So I see it's pretty even split so far. Dark Knight versus Security Control in this poll. See, we got some believers on both sides. You believe in SecCon? I'm a SecCon player at heart, but I love seeing these unique decks pop up. And we're seeing pressure applied right away already for the Dark Knight player side. And it looked like we probably saw... I'm assuming they went second, maybe. I'll be honest, I was kind of paying attention to chat here. Why I'm struggling with this poll here. Oh well. Try and get it visible on the screen, but it's not letting me project it. It's all good. We're seeing SecCon down to 3 security. Dark Knight, I believe, is down to either 3 or 4. It looks like 3 from this angle, but it could be 4 with the sleeves kind of overlapping here. So if we're trying to think like how we're going to pass turn here, it looks like we're debating if we have a chance to use an option or we're going to apply more pressure with current bonds on board. And it looks like we are using a Chimeramon here. And we're just trying to close that. We're trying to get damage. So we get some inheritables to proc here. The stack did not live. My guess was he was going to follow up with a Melogaruru to Digiburst 2 and trash another security. But now we're left with slamming something down here. But he is able to put on lots of pressure regardless. And we see Chikuri coming down here for 3 memory. Passing SecCon to 2 memory. we're just going to be returning pressure right back to the Dark Knight player. It's like, your optimal thing here at SecCon is probably just to keep board clear and try to recover when you have a moment to do so. But it's just going to be board clear after board clear. So we see Toy Agu in raising here, going into a Dark Knight piece for 2. If we have a tutor piece or a Pride Memory Boost, it wouldn't be bad here. And we're seeing a tutor piece here. Look at top 5 of the deck, and we're adding 2 Dark Knight pieces to hand. Great value here, and we know it's going to be a great next turn for Dark Knight from raising. But for anyone who does not know, the all turns effect of when Dark Knightmon is deleted, you can play a Skull Knight and or Deadly Axemon from the sources suspended without paying memory costs. So it gives you a way to easily go up into another check rather fast. So if you do Chimera that evolves and you shove extra pieces underneath, you get extra sources, but you won't be a Dark Knight, unfortunately. But if you come from raising, swinging, you can get an easy extra check. But that Sakuya coming down is definitely going to be a problem here for Dark Knight, as it won't do anything from raising. The one thing I have learned not to do is doubt, because we've definitely seen some crazy comebacks tonight when things looked really difficult for one side. And we do see a Dark Knightmon here, basically saying, if you try deleting me, I'm going to punish you and spread a board on you. And if he's choosing to go over it with a Melga to get the Digiburst value, that is also solid as well. Definitely giving him some thoughts here. But with the current security count, I will say is probably going to be rough. Yeah, we're going to see that Iron Fist Onslaught get rid of that Sakuya. Mimi's already tapped, so no extra memory, but we are giving them 7 to work with. That could just be a Magnus Slammed right back. It could be a Flame Hell Scythe. But nonetheless, Dark Knight is actually a solid mon to leave out, as it can pop more bodies. And we're going to see Chaos Degradation come down, though. This is our way of saying we can get around that deletion effect. We'll just go ahead and pop things there. And we're getting rid of an Izzy also. Let's see a Pride Memory Boost. And we're probably going to see a Game 3 here shortly. We know we're crashing to that Dark Knight. We get that recovered. So let's take a look at this pool, guys. So people are really split on who is going to take Game 2. We are split right down for all 3 votes. But we are going on to Game 3 now. We've seen it go both sides. We've seen Dark Knightmon with a great explicit start punishing security control with a lot of trashing of security. But then we saw security control be able to stabilize the board down, get a Sakuya, and kind of deny any response of what Dark Knight could really do here. But going to Game 3 here, what do you guys think? Are we going to see... we're obviously going to close the set, because it's a very fast deck. And I don't think one deck's super favored over the other. I think Dark Knight has lots of great resources for the matchup. I think Security Control is great at controlling aggro, though, too. So I can see it going either way. But I want to root for the Dark Knightmon, because it's really cool to see Dark Knight at the top tables tonight. And we're missing a rookie already. But we do get some good value here. Are we getting a Dark Knight piece or a Mechanori? And we're choosing the Dark Knight piece. And we're seeing Sekons in a similar situation. We're just trying to unbrick on both sides. We're seeing a second blade come down for 2 more draw. So we're got 4 cards cycled for Sekon. And we're still missing a rookie, it looks like. And we're just going to go to our fixture for 4. We're being generous with memory right now for both sides. And we're taking out a Sakuya. We value slamming that down, getting it on a Magna Angemon regardless. We see Cavalier mode for 1 memory. And we are seeing it swing security. And security check is a Salamon, getting the second check being a Death Exmon. Thankfully that jamming is coming in handy here. And we see another Dark Knight tutor coming down. 3 security for Sekon already. This deck explodes a lot faster than I think a lot of people give it credit for, sure. And just making sure we're picking up all the valid search targets here. But something cool here is, like, you don't need to have a lot in raising to be effective as a Dark Knight player. We're seeing them efficiently do things without a need to raise. You just have ways to spit out a board. You can be efficient with what you spit out. We see a minus 6k on a stack of choice. It's going to be the stack with, I believe that was Deadly Axemon that gave the extra check. And playing out a Salamon. But we still have a Dark Knight piece to work with here. We see another Cavalier mode for 1. If I had to take a guess, we're going into Dark Knightmon for 3 here. Because I believe that was just grabbed with a tutor. Yep, we're seeing that Dark Knight for 3. There is that Kari to be aware of. When you swing, you will lose a memory after the first check. But we do have jamming carrying over from the Cavalier mode. But jamming doesn't matter if you find a Wyvern's Breath. But both the pieces just come out suspended. But those are going right back into a Chimeramon. And we're going to pop that Salamon, and there will be a recover proc here. And he is going to get that source shoved underneath. So he is ready to get damage in. So are we going to see a Chimera swing, or are we going to go for a relatively safe play and go into a level 6 here? Because we've seen it go both ways. We're seeing building a stack and raising here. I think we're going to opt for a level 6 to Digiverse 2 sources away if I had to guess. Yeah, we're going to crack that memory boost before we get that swing in because we know Kari is there. But that Death Exmon will go ahead and delete that stack. But we got our backup plan. We got another Pride memory boost to play here. And we're going to play out that Toy Agumon and keep pressure live. So just tried being a little greedy there, trying to get as much value as possible, which I think is very fair for a Dark Knight player against Sekon. You really just want to get rid of security as fast as possible. So I think he just asked on options and trash. I think we might see an Avenge Kid come down. Nope, it's just a Magnet, it's a recover. Going back up to 3 security. No Sakuya down though. So we'll probably see the stack from Raising come up. See a Dark Nightmon coming. We're ready to get some damage in. I'll be honest, it could possibly be lethal because there is a lot of damage that comes out. The first Kari will get procced, going to 0. And second check being Wyvern's Breath. So now it's the real decision. Do you want to delete a Dark Nightmon or are you going for the Toy Agu? Regardless, you can force turn to pass with the second Kari. He is opting for looks like the Dark Knight stack. Get the Pagu effect. Whiff because it is not Digimon, but he plays out the one source still. Say checking that second card was definitely nasty there. The Wyvern's not as scary, but it is very unfortunate if you lose a stack that fast. Well, we're seeing Dark Knight's actually very healthy on their security at the moment, so they may have a chance to close out games still, but a board wipe is going to be difficult to deal with, so we're seeing control over Dark Knight piece, and we're seeing a Javelin get rid of that Toy Agu. 6 memory to get rid of a rookie. Let's see, Chumon down in Raisin. My guess is we're probably going to see some stacks built up in the plate area. We are going to get an Evo in back. We know there's a Sakuya, so it won't be able to do a lot of damage unless he chooses to do an Iron Fist onslaught. Well, here's the thing. He has lots of removal. Hey, CJ, how's it going? So I feel like he has removal in hand. You think it does? I'll be honest, I don't think it's that close yet, because we're seeing security controls at 1 security with nothing in raising. Like, if we can set up a Tamer here or get another Digimon, they have to address 2 Digimon and then hopefully not get Chimeraed from the raising stack, because that is still a valid use of that resource. But yeah, for anyone hopping in, this is round 3 of our Winamat tournament. First and second place are both getting the Metal Garurumon playmat here. Gotta peek my head around to see if it's in the pane. Missed this week because of work. Hope to play next one. It's all good. It's all good. We're here every week. And I know everyone has work schedules they can't play. I mean, yeah. Setcon does have a great way to deal with board here, but I don't think it's that shut out still. Security check. We do find a Chimeramon 8K. But, like, eventually got cut down, like, number-wise. He's not a 3 of index anymore. If anything, he's a 1 to 2 of. Because you don't have a need for infinite deck out now. Yellow Hybrid's not in format. Blue Hybrid's barely relevant and doesn't go for late game like that. You're a doubter. Like, yeah, he probably has an Avenge here, but I don't think it's the game. I think there's still a chance. Because he is pretty healthy on security. He can pop the Membus. He can slam a lot down. But I guess the Avenge is an extra body that will get a check-in. Yeah, we're going to see Avenge. It's just Pride memory boost on the Dark Knight side. And I don't think Dark Knight can swing over the Sakuya. 2 turns? Yeah. Yeah, the Karis make it difficult. The Sakuya makes it difficult. But they have the same play cost, so an Iron Fist Onslaught could actually be disgusting here. Because he has shown Iron Fist Onslaughts. We have seen Chikuris, but I think what we're going to see, if he has it, great Iron Fist turn. We will see the Izzy coming down, going to 2 on the opponent's side. See 3 black Digimons. Gain the memory, but it won't matter with that TK there. Yeah, it does. If we see, I'm still saying, if we see Iron Fist, it can be rough. We see a Chikuri. He could choose the Digiball something else in case there is an Iron Fist. I'm saying it because it's something that could make a difference. We see the Black Metal Garuru there. But we're going to go into another Sakuya, looks like here. Yeah, he has another Sakuya. And Purple Mimi putting the Dark Knight player to 3 because of Izzy. So we could go over to Sala, and then we could see an option, pop the big guy. I'm trying to think, is there a way where you can get a Grumble Chimera play? Because that could be a possible lethal. We see the Black Metal Guru, Digiburst 2, trash the top security. Unfortunately, the Karis are there. You got the Karis. You gotta keep in mind, he's going to pass turn. Yeah, if he cracked the Membus, it wouldn't really... Actually, if he cracked the Membus, he could have finished game, right? No, he had reboot. Because he had minus 3 checks from Sakuya. But I don't think this is as rough as a matchup. I'm pretty sure he's sitting on a Grumble at this point. I know he trashed 1 with the Pride Memory boost earlier. But I think this has been a fun set to watch. I know people don't like SetCon that much. And we know this was Chaos degraded earlier. We know there's no hybrid for game from SetCon traditionally. And I think he's trying to find a way to get rid of this Melga stack. He either has to heal or get rid of Melga. Or do both. But regardless, this game is coming down to the wire. Both players at 0 security. You get the recover, as is the last option you really have here. And I don't think we have hybrid for game yet, as we probably would have seen just a swing right away. See a swing. We run into a Magna Angemon. I'm going to crack the Membus to say lol, but we see the Grumble for game here. Dark Knightmon takes the set against security control all the way to game 3. There we are. That was a set. Definitely a fun one to watch for sure. What do y'all think in chat? So anyone who's looking for a fun deck, we might have a fun Dark Knight deck to check out later. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead, and I will be right back, y'all. Boo. Oh, you guys hear the keyboard again? Here, let's try this. I was just getting there. I was just going to say, I'm muted, aren't I? Because I was turning the background music on. But yeah, here we are in the finals again, Go Dice. Got War Greymon X, piloted by Vangola here on the right. And on the left, we have Dark Nightmon, piloted by Margarito. I will definitely say one of these two decks is not one people would expect in this format. But it has performed really well, surprisingly, tonight. Into a pretty traditional format. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, first time I'm not muted when I'm trying to talk about something. It's like you're trying to do work meetings on Zoom and you accidentally have yourself muted. Link, here, let me get the link. But we're seeing some strong tutoring here. Agu X over Agumon. It's an amazing way just to open up with a rookie on field. It doesn't feel nearly as bad. You don't get the inheritable of the egg, but it looks like we're able to get another stack started in Raising 2. And something a lot of decks or players don't realize is building 2 stacks is such a big thing in this format because it lets you close out games. Because you'll get all the checks done with 1 stack, but then you need 1 more swing. Thankfully with War Grey, you do have the Blitz Omni potential to close out the game. But as a Dark Knight player here, you're really just trying to get your punches and swings as fast as possible is what it seems so far. Double value off of Agu, yeah. And that's why it's so strong, just to like slam down the Agu. Like, if your opponent slams Memfixer turn 1, I typically respond with a Searcher Agu into Agu X first if I'm playing the deck, or a Gabu. Just because you get so much more in hand that way. And then you can even end on a Mem Boost because you're pretty memory efficient with these decks. But we see, I think that's the Deadly Axemon in Raising there. Yeah, we're in game 1 here. Whoever wins this will be for sure walking away with a playmat tonight for tonight's tournament. First security check is a Dark Nightmon though, so the Agu X will go down. And we see a red Membu slam down for 3. We're going to tutor the top 4 cards of the deck, add a red Digimon from there to our hand. He's missing a level 5 it looks like, so he does pick up a level 5 based on what his Raising has. And he's actually opting for the Greymon X, so he probably has enough level 5s in hand then, if I had to guess. So we're seeing some night action here. So I know a lot of these cards aren't super popular with most of you viewers, or even myself to be honest. But Skull Nightmon says when attacking you can trash all sources of a Deadly Axemon, place it underneath, and go into Dark Nightmon for free. And when you do that, you will get 2 checks because of the inheritable of the Deadly Axemon. And this just allowed him to go into basically a level 5 for free that's sticky and plays out 2 sources, getting a Pride Memory Boost, playing out a Memory Blocker, so he can also deny that red Mem Boost that his opponent played that previous turn. This is definitely putting a sticky situation for War Grey, as they're definitely in a slowed down spot. And yeah, there is a Toy Agu, so he does get Reboot also, so it's going to be hard to remove anything on the board. So 2 memory is the most we have to work with at the moment. If you go into the promo, you can't pop the Chumon because you don't have the Tamer. But we're definitely seeing a lot of the pieces come together for Dark Nightmon over here on the left. But a very unique pick for this format, as I don't think it really got much support. I think it's just the fact that the format fits it a lot better than last set. Blue Hybrid made it miserable, and without Blue Hybrid, the deck's actually a lot better, it seems. So now it's really hard to like decide if you're safe promoting, but he's just going to slam the tie down. This will give a guaranteed 3 memory next turn and allow you to go into a level 5 and then go into the Promo Altorius mode. So we see Dark Nightmon is going for 2 checks at security. First being an X antibody option. Doesn't gain the memory because Chumon is live, but it does go to hand. And the awkward thing here is I'm pretty sure he wanted the Dark Nightmon to crash on the second check. Because we've seen there's been lots of closes with Chimeramon from Dark Nightmon this tournament. Melga could actually win the game here too if he has it. He's got to crack the Mem boost though, but based off the play, he either doesn't see it or he doesn't have it. I wasn't even thinking of Melga. He had the Black Metal Garurumon from BT5 Digiverse 2 trash the top security. But I'll be honest, I'm probably sitting on this Chumon unless he feels it's just good. Yeah, he 100% wanted it dead here. And we're just going to see another rookie here. And there's a Melga. He's getting it on. Yeah, putting on top of the bottom. Picks up another Night Piece. But having 3 bodies on board, reboot Dark Knight, Wargrey is forced to promote stack here and try to close, either A, close out, B, delete the board. So if he has the optimal level 5s, he can go into the promo level 5 after he goes into like a Metal Gray of some sort. Oh yeah, it doesn't have to go over a Metal Gray to get the deletion. He just needs the Tamer, that's right. And it goes into the Metal Gray X. If he has X anti-option, which we did see go to his hand, he could swing with Wargrey X. But yeah, he has +1 check from that. He has a check from this. I think there's a starter gray, and I think it's a tie, so it should be 4 checks at the moment. We see the Mem boost get cracked, going to 2. Let's see X antibody option. Going to declare an attack on security, using the effect of X antibody to go into Wargrey X. So he does pay 4 for the evolution, but he will gain a memory for every card in security that is removed. And he's going for a bunch of checks. First, Pride memory boost, 1 memory is gained here. Second check, we see a Night Piece, another memory. We see a Melga, 11k, he is larger, and a Toyagu. And then I think we're probably going to see a Blitz Omni for game here. Barely taking the game from Dark Knight here. Yeah, Blitz Omni. Wargrey X is a very strong deck. And we are going to go to game 2 here. But just had a great way to deal with the board from the aggressive Dark Nightmons. But yeah, I don't know if... yeah, it could have gone either way. Like, if there is a security bomb, that also could have potentially saved the day. Because we did see a lot of security bombs from Dark Knight earlier, too. So my guess is we're going to see Dark Knight wanting to... I don't know if it wants to go first or second, because we see a lot more level 4 slam down. But also I feel like it's the aggressor and it wants to get a rookie in raising too. My guess is we're going to see Wargrey go first and Dark Knight goes second though. Just because you can work with that memory really well. Yeah, anyone who's hopping in stream now, welcome. This is our finals of our Win-A-Mat tournament. The set is currently 1-0 in favor of Wargrey. On the left, we have Margarito playing Dark Nightmon, though. And we see that rookie in raising start things out with. And we are going into, I believe that's Deadly Axemon in raising. Or Skull Nightmon in raising. Want to get the pieces right one of these days. And we're seeing a Greymon X slam down. We are missing a rookie on the right side here. So we are seeing the other Night piece come down for 4. And this is going to be a tutor of the top 5 cards of deck. I think that was Deadly Axemon, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Deadly Axemon. Look at top 5, add 2 cards with Nightmon, their names to their hand, rest of them on the deck. And this is just setting up a Dark Knight play for this follow-up turn. Because we saw the slam into the Greymon X, so we know there's not going to be a great follow-up. Hey, welcome, Gaming Dad. Nice to see you here. Yeah, Dark Nightmon X, it's in the finals. It's been doing really well tonight. We watched it beat Security Control in the last round. And we see the Alturius promo coming down. No Tamer in play, so there's no popping going on. So if we have a crazy optimal hand again, we're going to see the effect of the, I believe, I'm getting the pieces. Skull Nightmon when attacking. You shove the Deadly Axemon underneath, then you can evo into Dark Nightmon for free. And you will get 2 checks because of the inheritables. So a very explosive start again. And it looks like we are getting another stack set up. And honestly, the pieces are very memory efficient for the deck. We have 2 Knight pieces going to hand, 1 Cavalier. I think that the other is a Deadly Axe. But yeah, it's definitely working really well off of the Wargrey bricking as far as it is so far in this game. Yeah, Margarito here on the left, he's a local of ours, and he's a really cool guy. He always innovates with black and purple. Those are his only 2 colors he plays with. He'll dabble in yellow because it works with purple, but black and purple are the main things for him. Then Von Golo over here on the right, he is actually the last Ultimate Cup winner here in North America for the BT8 format. He won the very last one, cheeked out the last possible tournament with Blue Hybrid with Tommy at 4, but a very talented pilot to say it nonetheless. So we're going to start with an Agu X tutor, get this free draw, and we're going to search top 3, get a Greymon, an X antibody option, and he is opting to pick up, I believe that was a Metal Greymon? No Tamer in play does make it hard to respawn and pop things on board with the Alturius promo. If anything, it's free cycle. I'm trying to think what you really want to get into here if you are the Wargrave player. We see the Metal Gray X for free. He has an extra check and an extra 3k to the end of the opponent's turn because of the Metal Gray in source. And we're just going to start punching away at the Dark Nightmon, but his deletion effects will all proc. First being Pagumon to reveal top card if it's black, adds a hand, and he gets to play the 2 cards from underneath Dark Nightmon. The Deadly Axemon, the Skull Nightmon. Gaming, that sounds like you have a very solid local scene, because you said you had the D-Reaper player and you have another guy who ranks high in tournaments. Lord Knight? Yeah, I think Wargrave's realizing how rough it is to remove the Dark Nightmon. Just explaining what each one does here. Because these are definitely not popular cards that a lot of people are familiar with. I think we're close to the end of the audio, actually, because this is only for 3 hours. Yeah, we're down to our last 20 minutes of this track. Yeah, it's definitely been fun streaming tonight. I've had a lot of fun interacting with chat here, getting some cool games on stream. And I think we've actually had 3 sets of Dark Nightmon tonight. So we might have some cool deck profile and gameplay footage coming up for this upcoming week. But at this situation, like, your best response to a bunch of swings is an Omni-X normally, but it's looking like it's not super doable to get into at this point. And you're definitely not taking game here in this short run. Do you see starter Greymon 4-2? You will be able to swing over one of the pieces that was placed on the board. So we are able to respawn. There is 3 security left, so it's not a for sure matter that the game's over. We did see there is lots of strong pressure that Dark Knight's able to push with just having level 4s live on board. So I think now is there a way to find lethal here? It's probably going to be thinking and looking through his hand and resources he has available. And we are seeing the next Dark Knight piece here. Hey, Gold. He lost game 1 very close, and this is game 2 right now. Yeah, North Carolina sounds like it has a solid player base. I know Texas is very strong because we're like the TCG gaming capital type of thing. We see a Cavalier mode. We have jamming on this stack here. It also has blocker for all it matters, with the toy Agumon underneath. And there will be 2 checks coming through. X antibody option ending the turn prematurely for Dark Nightmon there. Thankfully, he does have blocker reboot, and he has a nice stack of security. But the 2 Membus on the Wargrave player side is definitely spelling trouble. Yeah, rough check. It didn't kill it, and he has a blocker at least. But yeah, trying to play for board as well as possible. But Cavalier mode, and I think those are, if I can ever remember the pieces, I think those are 2 Deadly Axemon, because it's, yeah, it's 2 Deadly Axemons. They got the, what looks like almost a little hammer claw arms. You know, it's possible that you could see a security bomb in return. But I think that was the best approach, honestly. Like, I think he did the right thing. He was trying to play it safe, keep his stack alive. Because Wargrey X players only run typically 2 to 3 X-Ante options. So you aren't likely to find them. It is a possibility. One Memboo's cracked. We're probably going into a level 6. Because he slammed down to level 4 turn 1. So I'm imagining he's upper level heavy. You see Wargrey for 3. And this is the one that negates security checks. Or security options, I should say. And he's going for 2 checks at the moment. Because it's a Greymon X into the promo level 5. Into Metal Grey X. And then Wargrey, when Digivolving, gain a security check. But we also know there is blocker on the Cavalier mode from the evolving effect. The Toyagu gave him reboot at a very convenient timing, at least. If we see Omni X here, it will be rough, because we know X-Ante option is in hand. We are cracking 2 more memory here. We're seeing Wargrey X for 1. And this does get 2 checks in. And we are choosing the block here. This will deny the memory gaining effect of Wargrey X here, actually. So if he was anticipating for that, he does have an end of attack effect, though. He's going to try sealing it with Omni X cardless. So I think he missed the end of attack deletion there from the Wargrey X. Because he does have the Wargrey in sources, so it should be live still. But he will be able to negate 3 attacks with his 1 security left, so really you need 4 swings to take game here. There is 5 memory to work with. So kind of like armor, you can get a lot of swings in when you don't expect it, for sure. Yeah, look, we're getting the resolution of the Wargrey X. Just 1 check. It's another red mem boost. I think we found 2 of them in security. He has a healthy amount of security, at least, and he's trying not to keep stuff vulnerable to dying to a Blitz Omni, or not Blitz Omni, the Omni X. But we see Ultimate Flare in response. So he will de-digivolve 1 stack by 3 and then delete everything for the play cost of 3 or less. He does not like that Omni X on field. So he is going to de-digivolve it by 3. And start turn, he will get the restand. He gets the promotion. But he's just trying to lock in his last security swing with the Rookie in raising here. A very solid removal option there, putting in its work. And every time I think about looking at a game state, thinking the game's so close, close out the game, I always forget there's a way where you can live and definitely negate some of their stronger effects. But staying on 3 memory for sure, could crack the mem boost for another 2. We do have to address there is a Rookie in raising. There's not a way to get blockers, so your only way to deny anything else is to go into another Omni X, because that will deny the most swings. However, I don't know how realistic that is. We just saw 2 level 6s go into the trash from the de-digivolve. Saw a Wargrey and a Wargrey X. But we do have another Wargrey here. Yeah, I think we see 4 security on Dark Knight's side, 0 security on Wargrey's side. So trying to think, how do we stay alive? We need to find a way to cycle, draw our deck, find an Omni X really badly here. Because most lists don't run any type of blocker at this point. Blockers feel mostly irrelevant in format. But there are a few that are very strong and will come up. Yeah, and he just realizes there's not a way to close this out. I don't have any draws. So let's just move on to game 3. And there's no other way to have a finals than a best of 3 set all the way to 3 games, chat. For y'all chilling here, I'm going to go ahead. Let's make a poll. There we go, guys. I left a poll for y'all to take. Who do you think's going to take the finals? Dark Nightmon or Wargrey X? Yeah, very exciting to see a game 3 come out, though. Dark Knight, I think, has definitely overperformed everyone's thoughts for how it will go tonight. So Dark Knight getting their Knight piece in raising is a beautiful start for them. Getting Skull Knight there is just great. So if it's your turn and you can get another Knight piece out, you could potentially get up into a Dark Nightmon for free if you have the other piece. Or you can just go into Cavalier mode and you'll get an extra check anyways. So it's just your strongest thing to have in raising. But we're going to see the Deadly Axemon calm down. Look at top 5. We're going to be adding 2 Nightmon cards into hand. One of them being a Dark Knight and the other being, I think it was a Cavalier. But providing 2 strong options for the player here. Margarita's really set up the board as sticky as he could. 2 level 4s is hard to address very cheaply. And we do see Agu-X go over the Agumon here. Going to get some extra tutoring. We get our 1 valid target being the promo Altorius mode. And seeing on the mem boost, you might as well be at 5 memory this turn. You could end up at a level 6. But we're going to respond with a TIE Fixer 4/4. And we know the Dark Knight is in hand, so we're going to see it win attack security, tuck the Deadly Axe underneath, evolve into Dark Knightmon, get our Digivolve for free, and we are getting 2 checks into security. Check 1 being Agumon, check 2 being Greymon. And we do see the Memory Fixer slam down in response as well. Top 3 cards all being black, so we know we will gain that memory back, which won't matter when TIE fixes them to 3. Yeah, we're seeing a very explosive start again. Putting Wargrey down to 3 security. Getting another rookie and raising. We have the fixer, so we know Grumble could be live now too. We're missing a level 4, it looks like. Yeah, unfortunate to see that brick that hard for sure. But we see 2 checks coming in from Dark Knightmon. Check 1 Agumon, check 2 Omni X. Dark Knight does die here. So we get all our deletion effects. If it's a black Digimon on top, it goes to hand. Play out the 2 Dark Knight pieces from underneath in the sources. You get the on-play of the Deadly Axemon. Add 2 Knight pieces from there to your hand. And there are quite a few ways this could spell out lethal here. We see a rookie swing. Pagu adds a card to hand. If we see a Chimera, and we see the Chimeramon go for lethal, guys. And that is our finals. We have Dark Knightmon taking the tournament. All the way through 4 rounds, we saw him go through a lot of meta-relevant decks. Well, guys, thank you so much for sticking around for the tournament. That is our finals. And with that being said, I am going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much for watching, y'all.